What's up, guys? It's your boy Cooler Man 100X. How you guys doing? We're going to be working on a Nike Air Max brand wallpaper design, and it's going to be an ad design for you guys to learn how to do ad backgrounds and add wallpapers and stuff like that, and make them look more realistic in a realistic environment. So we're going to make something like this. We'll say it's a little bit more advanced, but it's a little bit more detailed and broke down. So I know it's a lot of layers, but trust me, it's not that hard to do. As you can see here, we got the Just Do It text where we just found online. You can use any Just Do It text as you want. I just like this type of effect to it. It's kind of cool. What I did was I added an overlay to the text to make it red at the bottom, or dark light pink reddish, and make the white so it can stand out at the bottom and have every in a white silhouette, so it just flows at the top. So yeah. Then we add the lines for the effect as the text look like it's moving to the right, merging together. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Then we add the realistic background from the shoes, so we can add like dark shadows and a dark background. Then we added the blur to make a good focus just on the shoe, so when you look at the wallpaper, you're looking just at the shoe. And we added a nice touch in the background, bringing down the silhouettes and the trees and stuff like that, dimming it down a little bit so it can look more focused just on the Air Max. So, I know, it's a lot, but come with me. We're going to figure this out. So, we're going to start off with our first comp. We're going to use this as a reference to come back and forth to it so we can have on track. Now, the rest I want to do, you can go to film video and go to 1080p if you want, but I'm going to just go to my recent that I use. Just create 920 by 1080p background. You can unlock the background, leave the background white. So these are the pictures that I use here: the Air Max, the picture to Just Do It, and the background. So the first thing we want to add is the background. Very simple and easy to do. Just want to unlock it and just carry it over. Put the wrong comp and carry it over to there. So just like I said, everybody likes to put their backgrounds here, but you know, it doesn't have a white edges, which I like tedious about, but it doesn't have white edges, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to call this background. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to dim down the brightness and bring it to a little bit more detail so we can see the background, the windows and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to work on first. So we're going to work on the background, which is going to bring a brightness and contrast to it. Bring down the contrast. Should be right about here. Bring down the brightness just a little bit. Bring up the contrast so you can see the shadows within the street. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a curve linear, and we're going to go to linear contrast, and we want to add an exposure to it as well. So exposure brightness down. Just start that up a little bit here and just bring this here. So we get a nice silhouette. You can actually see the buildings within detail and stuff like that, like the dark shadows and stuff like that when something's over the night. So what you want to do is we want to press Alt and add this all together, which will be your clipping mask. You can just right click clipping mask if you want. So yeah. But I think it's easier if you just hold Alt so it can all go to the background layer. So you can actually group this if you want to keep everything clean. So we can just Control G and call this background. Enter. Now we got our nice background silhouette here. So the next thing we're going to go over is we're going to add the shoes, which is the shoes. So we're going to add the shoes right here. So we're going to call the shoes. Very simple. You don't have to say Air Max or whatever. You can right click Control and zoom out so you can see it. Hold your Shift key. Move it down. Make sure it's silhouette in there as much as you can. Just bring it down a little bit more. I think the size there. So you don't have to worry about making shadows because the shoes already have shadows. But if you want to make shadows, it's very simple. I'll work that in a different tutorial. But we're going to place it, and we got a nice size for our shoes here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our which will be our text. I don't know why this layer here, which will be our text here on the side with the lines here. Then we're going to work on the next text. So we're going to add just do it with the black red silhouette with the red and white lines. That's the next thing we're going to work on. So we're going to bring the font in. Should be the just do it font. So yeah, now the effect we're trying to go for is we want the center to be dark or more darkish red and the top to be the original blue and white color. So in order to do that, we're going to go to our hues and saturation, and we're going to go to colorize. We're just going to go to red and bring the saturation up. So you got a nice reddish color. And you just want to go to your brush tool, and you want to make sure you have black as your main color, or you can choose it from the swatch. It's up to you. Now this is very tedious. Well, if you have, whatever, a tool or a tablet, I don't have my tablet hooked up right now, but you can just erase to just do it with the eraser tool, with the brush tool, I'm sorry, and just try to make it the original color. Try not to touch the do, the Nike sign in the middle, just try to erase it right here and just erase it. Very simple, not that hard to do. There you go. So you gotta just do it with two simple colors. Now the next thing you want to do, guys, is you want to delete the main background. So you want to just go to your magic tool, press that, and press backspace or delete. So you deleted the main background. So you're gonna make a new layer so you can see what you're doing, and just put it under your paint bucket tool and just put a black or red background. It doesn't matter what you put. So after you've done that, you can see what you did here. Black. So we're gonna look at it in white. So white is cool. And we're gonna step back a little bit. So yeah, make sure you choose the back layer. Then you want to press white. Then make a new layer. Then you want to go to your black swatches, so you can definitely see it in white or black. See what you messed up on. So yeah, we got our main color. We changed to just do it, so we can definitely merge the hues and the saturation down, which will be merged down on right click. Then you want to just carry it over to your comp here. So you want to resize it. Work to smart object here. Put it next to the shoe. I must move the shoe over just a little bit. The whole shoe. Oh, about right there. Sorry. Over. And we just do it just a little over there. So you'll be able to put the line there. So pretty much got to just do it right. Everything is pretty much going as smooth as possible. So I'm gonna name this layer called, I'm gonna call it logo. Simple. Alright, so we got the just do it logo. Everything is doing great. So the next thing we're gonna focus on is putting the every text and the damn text. So what I'm gonna do is just carry over the text that's already in here. And I'm gonna tell you guys what the fonts are. So just gonna carry them over here. Well, I don't really have to. I'm just gonna carry every, because every is pretty cool. I'm gonna tell you that one. That's all I need is every. So yeah, you can move every here. The font that's every called Infinity Stroke. So that's what the font is. Then what I'm gonna do here, I just move it to the center, to the right side. And I'm gonna do is just copy the layer and put damn day. Now you just want to highlight the layer, and you want to go to a font called Impact. It's in probably every computer with Photoshop, or your main font is called Impact. So yeah. So there's a little bit of typography, a little bit, in case you did not know what typography is. Damn day. Here we go. Then we put the every on top. Just move it up a little bit to the right, and about right there. And we take our Damn day. Move it up a little bit, about the text. And about right there. Then you want to put it under the shoe. So now we're doing really good. Now the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add an effect to damn day. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our gradient tool. You can leave it as that if you want. You can start off with a white black background and you want to go to your red here, press OK. And you want to bring the white all the way down as much as you can, so you had a nice feel. You just want to have a nice little cut fill off, so it's like it's leveling in the text. You just want to press OK. After you've done that, you're pretty much good on the damn day text. So now we're going to go to our logo, which is to just do a text. Now this is a little bit more difficult, so bear with me. We're going to make this look more realistic because you can't really see it behind the buildings and stuff like that. You don't know what it is. So we're going to double click. The first thing we're going to add is our drop shadow, which should be a red background, which would be FF00. If you want to copy that down, press OK. And all you have to do is add a 0 angle, which would be 0. Have it coming out as the opposite way. Use global light. You can leave it on 28, 19, 46 if you want. You can adjust it, but it's like pretty much the best size for it. And the next thing, you press OK. That's pretty much it. That's what you have to do. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the lines a little bit. So we want to scoot it over because it's overlapping the text. So you just want to put it under the text, which is the logo, which would be under Avery. So you have Avery a little bit over. Then you just want to move down a little bit over to the right a little bit. So I want to affect the text right there. So about right there in the middle of the tree should be fine. So you get a nice open area right there. So yeah. The next thing we're going to go over is the lines. As you can see here in our ad, we want to add that red type of fade line effect. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to our line tool, which is here right under the polygon tool. And we're just going to add different lines. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to copy. We're going to add one line, which would be that. And you can change the shape to white. Try to do. Press OK. Now you have a line. Now you want to put this above the shoe just for now, so we can see what we're doing. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. We want to copy the layer, and we want to control and press our position tool. I'm sorry, control over a little bit and move it over just a little bit more. Then copy again, go over just a little bit more, and copy again, and move over just a little bit more. Now we got our good lines there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go shift, and we're going to go to our first shape, then we're going to control G, then we're going to call it lines. I'm going to call it lines part 1. All right, cool, right? Then we're going to copy the layer. Then we're going to hold shift and move it over. So we have the double line effect. So we're going to hold shift, group, and call it lines part 1. Part 1. Oop. I got to put lines in there. Oops. Got to put the lines in there, guys. Got to put the lines in there. Yep. There we go. Part 1. Make sure you name all your layers. That actually cleans everything up. So we got our first part lines here. Cool, right? Dope. So we want to move this under, not the background layer, above the background layer, and we're going to move it down right about here, right under the logo, because I think I put the logo within here, which was pretty weird, by the way. Put the logo on top. I don't know how it fell there, but yeah, this is what the effect that you want, and you just want to move it over. I'm gonna have that effect right there. So now to put the glower lines effect, I like to copy the layer and unseen that layer and merge the group. Now I'll double click it and go to your glow, outer glow. And you want to put it on 100, noise on 0, 2, 2, and just press OK for the outer glow. And put it on screen for blending mode. That's all you want to do. Simple and easy. Now you want to copy the layer again, put it above that layer, merge. You want to scene the group, merge it down again. Then you want to move it over to the right. Move it down. You want to have that nice white effect there. Just enough. I can see everything. So yeah. And now you want to do is just take your eraser tool and just even it out. And you just want to even this out for the unnecessary line. So you had a nice effect too, where it's just connecting to the text. Now that we got our text, our Just Do It logo, and our shoe, now we want to add a little bit more realistic with the shoe because you can tell the lighting is different from the background. So we want to go to the top to our shoes, and we're going to add a brightness and contrast first. And you want to press Alt. You want to do the same thing for your curves. Press Alt again, and you want to do the same thing for your exposure. Press Alt again. Now the first thing with the brightness and contrast, you want to lower the brightness up the brightness to see where it's at. And we're going down the contrast, bring out the shoe thumbs and everything. So we can get that nice little dark shadow on the side of the logo. Now we're going to go to our curves. Just go to linear and contrast. Then we're going to go to our exposure and just lower it so we can get a nice shadow of the shoe. So we get a nice bright shadow. We can see different shadows along the shoe and whites and dark highlights. So yeah, we can control and shift this and group it and just call it shoe. So yeah, we got a nice shoe, so it's blending with the background great, very beautiful. But we're not done yet. We have to do a little bit more design to the logo. Same identical thing. We need to go down to our logo. I would say you can put the logo behind all the lines and stuff, but you want to make sure it's in front of the lines. That's all you want to do. Make sure our logo is in front of the lines. Now what you want to do is add the same thing I told you to do. Add a brightness and contrast. Press Alt. Add a curve. Press Alt. Add a exposure, press Alt. Now we're going to go to our brightness and contrast. And we're going to look at the text and make it a little bit more realer. So we can get the cuts and grooves a little bit more detailed. Yes, about right. Go to our curves, add our linear contrast. Go to our exposure. Now we get to really mess with this, add the detail to it. Now you can actually see the font being broken. Just a little bit more. Yeah. I don't want it to be too white. Get that broken effect. That should be fine. Yep. Same thing you want to do is Shift, Control G, and just call it logo. Logo. All right. We got our font, we got our text, we got our lines, we contrast the shoes to make it more realistic, but we're still not done yet. The next thing we need to add is our blur effect, where it focuses more on the shoes, and adds our camera raw effect too as well. So we're going to add 2 blurs and also put a main comp. So go back to it. What you want to do is above the shoes, you want to make a new layer, and you want to call it main. Now you want to go to your image and apply image and press OK. Now you have everything merged together as one layer. Pretty cool, right? Now you want to copy that layer. and you want to call it blur. I can say blur part 1. Now you want to go to filter and Gaussian blur, which would be filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Now I like to leave it on 22.2, but you can go higher if you want, if you feel as though the realness is not controlled. But 22.2 is the best one. Just press OK. Now what you want to do is take your eraser tool. You want to go down to your eraser tool here and make it about 300. Take the cap lock off, and you just want to hold your right bracket key. Wait a minute. 2. Okay, so you want that, and hold your right bracket key for a shortcut. You want to make it around big as the comp and focus on just the shoe. So about, let me say about right here is perfect. Okay. And you just want to press it, and you got your nice blur. Press it again. Press it one more time. Press it 3 times. You get a nice fade blur. And also, guys, before you do it, make sure your hardness is on 0 and make sure the size is off about 1600. So after you've done that, you pretty much got your blur down. So you want to copy this layer again and call it blur 2. Blur part 2. Now what you want to do with this one is you want to just lower the opacity. Yeah, right there, it got a nice little effect there. Now what you want to do is make a new layer and call it camera raw. You want to go to image, apply image, press OK. Now we're going to go to the camera raw effect, which will be available in your Photoshop. Camera raw filter, I'm sorry. Camera raw filter effect. Now, stay with me because we're going to customize our own shot to make it look more realistic and stuff. So, first thing we're going to focus on is our exposure. It's a little bit too bright, but we're going to add a little bit more contrast, bring the streets out a little bit. Add our highlights in the shoe, add a little darkness. And we're just gonna downplay our shadows just a little bit. And we're gonna up our whites, lower our whites a little bit. We're gonna bring in our blacks. And this is where it just looks very clean. You wanna up the clarity so you can see the grooves and everything. Try to up the clarity as much as you can, but you don't wanna do it too much to where it look like Ragers cut it. So you wanna go about 44% is pretty much, about 39% is good. You want to add a vibrance to it. 7 saturation. Got that. Now you want to add a temperature. Then you want to add your tint. After you've done that, you just press OK. And you can see the difference. So yeah, that's how you do Nike ad wallpaper. Just do it every damn day design ad. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, man. If you have any problems or any tips around this tutorial, make sure you leave the comments below. And I'll definitely help you out along the way if you have any tips you want to know, or if I just went a little bit too fast, you want to know what tool did I use, leave it in the comments below. Make sure you hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, make a link in the description below. Also, man, make sure you click the links that's available on the screen right about now, I guess. And also click the eye for other videos and playlists that you can see as well. Also, they'll be in the description with the equipment that I use and software that I use as well. So, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Deuces.